Passion Week, and so for this week, we're going to read some scripture each day and then spend about 3 minutes of devotional challenge. And today I'm in John chapter 12, beginning in verse 1. John chapter 12, verse 1 reads, Jesus, therefore, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, whom Jesus had raised from the dead. So they made him a supper there, and Martha was serving, but Lazarus was one of those reclining at the table with him. Mary then took a pound of very costly perfume, a pure nard, and anointed the feet of Jesus and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But Judas Iscariot, one of his disciples, who was intending to betray him, said, Why was this perfume not sold for 300 denarii and given to poor people? Now he said this not because he was concerned with the poor, but because he was a thief. As he had the money box, he used to pilfer what was put into it. Therefore Jesus said, Let her alone, so that she may keep it for the day of my burial. For you will always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me. The large crowd of Jews then learned that he was there, and they came, not for Jesus' sake only, but that they might also see Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. But the chief priest planned to put Lazarus to death also, because on account of him, many of the Jews were going away and were believing in Jesus. There's a lot of individuals in this passage we could focus on. We could focus on Lazarus, who was reclining with Jesus at the table. We could focus on Martha, who was once again serving Jesus. We could focus on the Jewish leaders who had decided to put Jesus and Lazarus to death. We could focus on those who were coming to see the scene and see Lazarus and see Jesus. But I want to focus on two individuals, Mary and Judas. See, both of these individuals were disciples of Jesus. Judas, at one point, was a true follower. He was in the inner circle, if you will. He kept the money. He was someone they trusted. Judas, like all the disciples, left his life behind to follow Jesus. But something changed. Mary's life had been changed by Jesus as well. We know at the very least that Lazarus, her brother, had been raised from the dead, and we can speculate at other events in her life. But Jesus' life had intersected Mary's life, and her life was better as a result. Both of these individuals had something to gain from Jesus, but something changed in their perspective. See, I believe Judas became a person in which Jesus became a meal ticket. It became about what Jesus could do and could give to Judas. And when life didn't go the way Judas planned, when Jesus didn't meet his expectations, Judas moved from true follower to betrayer. Mary, on the other hand, although she had received life from Jesus, saw things differently. And she saw what she could give back to Jesus. And she pursued what she could give back to Jesus. My challenge for us today is not to simply look at what Jesus gives. Jesus gives life. But the challenge of Mary is to look at what we can give back to Jesus. What can I give back to Jesus today? Have a blessed day.